Alright, hey YouTube. This is Merc4911 bringing you a little energy tip that I came up with last year. Probably not the first person to think of this, obviously, but it's the only place I've ever seen it. So what I'm going to talk about is using your dryer to kind of supplement your heating needs during the winter. Not the dryer itself, just running it for heat, but harnessing some of the heat generated from that dryer when you're drying your clothes. I live in Oklahoma, here in the Midwest, Oklahoma City area, and you know, people probably don't think of Oklahoma City as being extremely cold during the winter, and for the most part it's not, but today is December the 9th. And to give you an example, right now it's 12 degrees outside. And you know, there are millions and millions of homes in the United States alone that operate a washer and dryer. And right now there are millions and millions of homes across the United States that are running a heater, running a fireplace, and when it comes time to dry their clothing, when they do their laundry, they just pump tons and tons of heat right outside. And to show you what I've done to kind of harness some of this energy, you know, obviously this does not take the place of using your in-heating unit, your space heaters, your gas fireplace, wood fireplace, whatever you may have. But what I've done to supplement that is, if you can see, I don't know if you can see down there very well, right down there is my dryer vent where you hook up your hose to run your heat out the outside. And what I've done is I've filled that up with plastic bags, some insulation and tape. Basically just sealed it off so I'm not going to deal with any varmints or bugs, anything like that. Then I've pulled the hose inside and hooked up one of my old tube socks to that to catch the extra lint. Works really well. It doesn't really create any extra dust. I mean, a lot of people would think, oh, it's going to just make your house really dusty, and really it doesn't. One thing that is important, though, is you want to make sure that you change that sock out about every week to 2 weeks. Probably every week, depending on how much laundry you do. You know, I have a family of 5, 3 small kids. We go through quite a bit of laundry. We're generally doing at least a load a day on average. That doesn't mean it's every day that we're doing a load. Most days it is, but there's some days where we get a little behind and we need to do, you know, 1 or 2 loads, 3 or 4 loads in the same day. But to show you how it works, I'm sure it's pretty self-explanatory, but as this washer or dryer heats up drying these clothes, excuse me, just making it so you can kind of see how this is inflating a little bit. All that heat generated from this dryer, and also humidity that we normally would be pumping outside, you know, to help keep the bunny rabbits and squirrels out there, we're keeping in the house. I don't know if you can see this. This is a pretty small little laundry room, own door and everything like that. When you're doing this, you don't want to keep this door closed. If you do, it will literally become a little sauna in here, a little steam room in here. You'll get that much moisture. During the daytime, if it's running and I've got this door shut right here in this little closet-sized room, and I open this back door, you can see the steam rolling out of the house when you're doing that. So, like I said, with the moisture, with the humidity that it puts off, it really helps a lot for the comfort level in your house as well during the winter. I actually encourage my wife to do the laundry kind of going into, or at least using the dryer, going into the evening hours as it's getting colder and colder, so we kind of retain that heat in the house throughout the night, kind of build up a little bit of heat and a little bit of humidity in the house. You know, we live in a 2-story house with the bedrooms upstairs, so that really helps because most of that heat rises up. You know, it gets pretty cold downstairs, especially in the morning when you wake up, but you know, running that heat at night. So what it boils down to is, you know, like I said, we got millions and millions of households in the United States that are running washer and dryer units in the home on a daily basis for the most part. And while we're, you know, during the wintertime when it's colder than crap in some areas, we're pumping tons and tons of heat outside while we're running heaters and fireplaces inside. Just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to waste that energy. So, like I said, don't do this as a way to heat your home just by running your dryer for no reason. Just make sure that when you're, you know, if you want to do something like this, that you're getting that energy, you're saving some of that energy. You know, I am by no means a what some would call a tree hugging, save the planet type guy. I got no problem with the planet, love the planet, hope it does well. As far as climate change and things like that go, I'm not a big believer that my SUV is destroying the planet. I would consider myself a little bit green, but more on a conservative standpoint, more on a waste not, want not standpoint. In that view, I guess, is one way to look at it. So, anyways, just an energy saving tip for y'all. One more important thing I want to remind you: you got to change out that sock, okay? Because it will fill up with lint. It will line itself with lint. This one has been on there for almost a week. And really what I do is I use the same 4 or 5 old socks that I've had in an old sock drawer. And when that one's done, I'm going to pull it off. When it's time to change it out, I'm going to turn it inside out, scrape all the old lint out of there, the old dryer lint out of there. And it'll go into one of the wash loads. It'll come back out and be waiting to be the next load. But I can tell you right now, it's just been running a few minutes, and in this room feels completely, man, it just feels really nice for being 12 degrees outside. It's actually pretty cold downstairs right now. I don't have the heater running in the house. But the heat for this load that's running right now, there is clothes in there drying. That heat is going to help warm the house throughout the night. I don't know. It's a pretty cheap dryer. I don't have no really energy efficient with extra bells and whistle settings on it, but as you can see, I've got it set for more dry right now. I'm actually going to move that forward because the load that's in there is pretty small. That'll probably be all that it needs right there, and that's going to be the once that goes off, it'll be done, and that'll be that. Anyways, energy saving tip for y'all. Those that